Okay, let's finish going over this. Finish going over this with you guys. Since I didn't really quite finish in my class, I'm going to have to squeeze it in a different day. I think that we were at, okay, know if treatment is experimental. I'm on the Bill of Rights still. And it says that a patient has the right to know if treatment is experimental. I would hope so. Right? The patient has the right to know hospital policies that pertain to patient care. So they have a right to know if there's something that they can have, something that they shouldn't have, whatever is going on. Okay, it says the patient has the right to be informed of available resources. So they have the right to know what is or isn't available to them. And then the right to examine their bill. Okay, I would hope so. I want to know exactly what everything costs. Client autonomy and responsibility. So this is client responsibilities. Okay, what that means, now, yes, a patient can refuse to do treatment or whatever, but in the end, if the patient wants to get better, the patient is going to have some responsibilities too. So what can be expected of us as patients? It says provide information about history related to current health. Okay, yes, patients are responsible to provide a correct and accurate and complete history. Otherwise, how's the doctor going to know how to treat them? I mean, there's some medicines that interact with others. Allergy is one thing that you definitely want to tell. So there's things that, I mean, the doctor needs to know what all's going on. You know, if you lie and say, no, I never drink alcohol, but, you know, the doctor prescribes you a medicine, and then you go home and drink alcohol and it makes you deathly sick, right? Then that's, you know, that's something you should have told him. Participation in decision making. So the client needs to participate in the decision making. The doctor cannot make all of the decisions for the patient. They just can't do it. The patient's got to have some responsibility in that too. Patient needs to ask questions if they don't understand. Okay, that's expected. And I always, when I did home health, especially, and I would do I would start a new patient, I would always go over these things, you know, like, we expect there are some responsibilities that will fall on you too. You know, if you don't understand something, please let us know. Like, we'll be happy to explain it. So that's something that is important. Providing copies of advanced directives. Okay, so client response, if I'm taking out advanced directives, I need to take it with me to the hospital if I expect them to follow it. How can they follow it if they don't even have a copy or know that it exists? Inform providers if they anticipate problem with treatments. Definitely. Patients are responsible if there's something, if they know that they're, you know, well, I know that I can't quit doing this, or I know that blah, blah, blah. Then you let them know that. Follow the physician's orders. It's the patient's responsibility to do what the doctor tells them, advises them to do. How are they going to get better if they won't follow orders? That's called non-compliance, okay, whenever patients don't do what they've been instructed to do. And non-compliance is not, I don't know, you just don't want to be non-compliant, because one, you want to get better, and two, sometimes insurance won't cover stuff if you're non-compliant. Providing agencies information needed for insurance and pay when necessary. Obviously, they want you to pay. Okay, a DNR, do not resuscitate. It says a binding legal document that states resuscitation should not be attempted if a person suffers cardiac or respiratory arrest. So this is a legal document. It has to be signed by the patient, okay, or the patient's representative, and the physician. The physician, now a physician does not have to sign a living will. He does not have to sign a power of attorney, but a physician does have to sign a DNR. The reason for that is that in order to get a DNR, do not resuscitate order, and one, it's an order, so it's a physician's order. But secondly, they have to be terminal. The doctor has to deem them terminal. They have good reason to have a DNR. Like for me, I wouldn't want a DNR, okay? I'm 30 years old. If something happens to me, like, I would want my family to be able to make the decision whether or not I'm revived. I don't know the situation. It might be a little different now than later on. I might have a better quality of life on the other end of that.
Dylan Foster, come to the office, please.
May be instituted on the basis of an advance directive from a person or proxy or power of attorney. So they can institute that as well. says it's written when the physician, family, and patient agree that quality of life will be so decreased that resuscitation should not be performed. Okay, so that is the reason you would want to, as one reason you would want to do that. Okay, so that's that. I think that's it as far as this lecture goes. I'm sorry I had to split it into 2 sections. We just ran out of time in my other class.